We have many frames of thinking that are untrue, but we live with them for so long that we've taken them for gospel. So they rule our thoughts and our lives. One frame might be, I'm really good at math. And guess what? Even if you weren't, you are now. It's a belief, a faith you have taken to heart, which is a much higher plane than just thinking. The heart receives a belief, a faith in an idea, and the mind is just an obedient servant to justify whatever your heart came up with. Whatever the heart has taken as truth, that's where you'll end up. Getting saved is not a mental decision to believe. It is first a heart decision, and then the mind will find all the reasons for it to be true. Another example of a frame we get into is, I'm always bad at technology. And guess what? Your mind goes and fulfills it. Like a good servant, the mind goes out and figures out how you will be lousy at that frame you've decided to put yourself in. I'm lousy at tech, I'm lousy at math, so there you go. You get the frame. The mind helps you fulfill it. So all our frames are what we have taken into our hearts. But they're just frames that can be changed. One frame would be, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and have the faith for it. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and guess what happens? Because they believed in their heart and their mind, immediately the mind gets behind it and does all it can to bring it to pass. People walk around with all these bad frames they created, or someone put it in their minds and then they put it in their hearts. So they walk in these falsehoods. But frames are just frames. They seem real, but they're just creations of what you have let your heart believe. See, you allowed it, and yes, maybe as a child you were told, you're stupid. So your heart took it to heart. And then your mind just got behind it all these years, and it's been obedient. It served you well, making you a fool every time you're in a situation. You're not really stupid, but you're not really stupid, but you're framed as stupid. It's just an illusion. But if you believe it, it becomes a reality. To the one who has received in his heart that he can't do anything well, he becomes a loser, not because God doesn't make losers. He made you in his image. He wanted you to be like him. Now, the one who believes in his heart that everything is a lost cause, he believes all things are not possible. He's in a delusion. The truth is, your heart has made it so. God gives us the tools, the right belief systems, but we must adapt them. If you receive a frame of I always trip on everything, and take it to heart, guess what? You go through life tripping. It's not tripping's fault. Not your mind's fault. It's your belief in your heart. And your mind is obedient. It helped you fall. Stop it. Sure, tripping happens to us all at times. But you don't want to frame it as one of your main features of your life in your heart. You take it to your heart. So as a man thinketh, he is. The fix. Go in and purposely reframe one at a time, all these things you believed about yourself that were not godly, because God doesn't have negative thinking and frames of you. He has positive ones. I never trip. Get it into your heart. I know some say you can't use the reverse of an idea and all that, but yes, you can. Bible uses it all the time. Probably the positive version of it's better, but Bible uses both. So back, I never trip. Get it out of your heart. These simple words at the time, unspoken, don't seem like much, but repeated over and over enough times to yourself, these just spider webs you could have broken at the beginning now become chains, a little harder to break. But just like you created them, you can uncreate them, you can break them. If you insist on chains, chain your life to God. I can't help but serve him. Everything I do, I must serve him. There's a good chain. Chains are not the problem, but who you're chained to are the problems. What idea am I chained to? And change that one you don't like. So even chains can have a good use. But what is it that you believe about yourself that you have no more use for? That has just been a useless framing you had in your heart, your mind. You could have been in war, and every time you hear a loud bang, you duck and you're afraid. I had to before, but now you can drop it. But many of our frames do not have a good use. So we need to reframe everything that is anti-God. Everything that is negative is anti-God. Amen.